Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And I was sharing with the Zoom group before the recording started that I used the ACIM Oracle, and it guided me to the perfect thing. And I just need to be very clear with all of you. Everything I do is for me. I'm just getting real clear on that. Everything I do here is for me. Now, if you get some benefit from it, great. And if not, that's great too. Just go with it. Forgive yourself as soon as possible and move on. I'm gonna get to my text here. I got from the Oracle today, I got chapter 8, the treasure of God. And I thought, ooh, that sounds really sexy. And in the second paragraph on the treasure to God, I'm going to read it. It's not a long paragraph, just because I feel like this has an abundance of everything that we're really working on. Okay, the treasure of God. The world, and I'm going to put quotes, the world can add nothing to the power and the glory of God and his holy sons. We're his holy sons. So the world can add nothing to the power and glory of God and his holy sons, but it can blind the sons to the Father if they behold it. So if you see the world and get caught up in the world, you're blinding yourself to the Father and the truth, okay? So if you're making this dream real, here we go again, this damn dream. If you make this dream real, you're blinding yourself to the glory of God. And I'm just gonna, before I continue reading, there's a thought that wants to come through. So if you're blinding yourself by making this world real, you might ask, I might ask, how do you know when you make the world real? You make the world real when you have a strong emotional reaction to it. No, it doesn't even need to be a strong emotional. It can be any emotional reaction to it. You have made the world real, okay? Back to the text. You cannot behold the world and know God. I'm going to repeat this. This is that dual desire that we talk about almost every time. You cannot behold the world and know God. So if you're having some reaction to the world, you cannot feel God. You're not trusting God. And I've said this to so many people, and the reaction is always, oh, no, 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 I love God. I know that. But if you're making the world real, you're not trusting God. This moves back into the development for trust. And the sooner you can get honest that you can't see both the world and God at the same time, the quicker you'll move through this. So this is where honesty comes in. And it's really looking at, yeah, no, I really had a strong reaction to that person for some reason. And I know I cannot have a reaction to the world and still be trusting God. Now, this is not bad, okay? And this is where people get really confused. They make it bad and wrong, and well, I'm not going to think like that again. No, 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 no. It's a lesson you would learn that you're presenting yourself with. And so the quicker you move through the lesson, the better for everybody. Now, moving through the lesson, all that means is when you make the world real, You have to accept the atonement on it, which means admitting you're creating something that you're believing in, instead of knowing the truth of who you are, which you're a loving thought in the mind of God. Just have to pop that one in several times, many times throughout my day. Okay, so you cannot behold the world and know God. Only one is true. And we're coming into some free will stuff. This is the text. I am come to tell you that the choice of which is true is not yours to make. And I can hear myself thinking, well, what the hell does that mean? I've got free will. I've got this choice. But here's the deal. You cannot behold the world and know God. If you see there's a choice between the two of them, one of them is denying the truth of who you are, and the other one is the truth. So if you're taking one above the truth of who you are, that's not free will. Your only free will is to know you've made all this up. Every last piece of it, no matter how disturbing. The more disturbing it is, the better. Woohoo! Bigger lessons. So if there's someone that you don't like, guess what? You made them up as a lesson you would learn. And this is what I know there's somewhere in the text that it talks about this. If you knew who was disturbing your mind, you would kiss their feet. Because the truth is, you can't get to know God without admitting you have these other thoughts. Because that's what got us here into this delusional dream to begin with. We thought we could make it better. And so we're always thinking, how can I make the world better? Ooh, that was my whole world. I was a freedom fighter. I was going to make the world a better place. Ugh. I had to give myself terminal cancer to really get this lesson. Okay. Okay. So only one is true. You cannot behold the world and know God, and only one of them is true. And we know you are a loving thought in the mind of God. That's the truth. That's knowing God. But the lessons are gifts to ourselves to move closer to God and living there. Okay, back to the text. Okay, I am come to tell you that the choice of which is true is not yours to make, because only one is true, the other is not. That was me. Back to the text. If it were, you would have destroyed yourself. That's going to be the topic of today. Yet God did not will the destruction of his creations, having created them for eternity. And we are a loving thought in the mind of God. That is eternal. Okay, I want you to tattoo that one on the inside of your eyelids. You're a loving thought in the mind of God, and that is eternal. The only thing that is. His will, God's will, has saved you, not from yourself, but from your illusion of yourself. Oh, that's such a powerful sentence. God's will has saved you, not from yourself, because guess what, guys? You don't exist either. You're part of the projection called the dream of death. The only thing that's true about any of us is we're a loving thought in the mind of God eternally. Always. That has never changed. Okay, back to the text. Yet God did not will the destruction of his creations, having created them for eternity. God's will has saved you, not from yourself, but from your illusion of yourself. He has saved you for yourself. Oh, I just love this. This is it. I mean, this is the whole course in a little paragraph. But then that's the way the Course in Miracles works. It says the same damn thing over and over and over and over again. You've got maybe 10 basic principles that you've got to get your head wrapped around. And this is one of them. You want to be saved? Let go of this idea that you are you and that you can do anything wrong or that you can think anything wrong. It's all perfect. They're just lessons we would learn as access to getting closer to the truth of who we are, which is a loving thought in the mind of God. So basically, this little paragraph, one out of the entire book, says it all. And I'm just sharing my experience of, I don't know. Am I awakened? Hell, I don't know. I don't use words like that. I know I'm happier than I ever have been consistently, no matter what. And you can make that mean anything you want. I make it, I'm happier than I ever have been consistently. And for me, that's plenty. And I like myself, which is huge. Because I was trying to just destroy myself my entire life. Every time I wanted to correct myself, every time I wanted to improve on myself, all of those were me basically committing suicide. Because the truth is, I'm perfect. And that's why this paragraph is so profound. It's telling us we're perfect. Not only do you not know how perfect you are, you can't make a good choice if you're believing in the world. If you're trying to choose something to make you a better person in the world, ooh, you're in bad neighborhood and God's not present. Stop it. I love that's that Bob Newhart show. He's a psychiatrist, and the woman goes to him. He says, "Yeah, for $5, I'll give you, I'll tell you exactly what to do." And then she went on her story, and he said, "Okay, give me your $5. Okay, here's what you need to do. Stop it." And it's the only thing that really makes sense. But here's the deal: we've got to embrace all those thoughts that believe in the world. I was a doctor. I believed so much about this world. Oh my God. I believed in every theory, every. And then I had information on how you could help yourself in this dream of death. And I was arrogant enough to say, to avoid death or to prolong life. And oh my God, I was so caught up in it. And I had to look at every one of those thoughts. And I live in Namaste. It's the perfect place because guess what? Everyone around here is trying to improve themselves, their health particularly. So I hear all the stories every day. Oh, go to this doctor, take this herb. Oh, do this diet. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not it. That's not it. And believe me, I did everything right. I worked with people with cancer my whole life. I worked with people with cancer so they could cure their cancer. Then what do I get? Terminal fucking cancer. It's like, oh my God. I knew I had done something wrong. The good news, I was doing everything right according to the world. No coffee, no sugar, no dairy, no. I was a raw macrobiotic by the time I got the cancer diagnosis. A raw macrobiotic. It doesn't get more intense than that. And the reality was I stopped doing all of it. And then I went on to deal with issues like, I don't want to be fat, because that was one of the big reasons I was doing all the diets, quite frankly. Not that food makes you fat, because I really worked with that one too. No, I had fear of fat, massive fear of fat, massive, massive, massive. Oh my God, I would have done anything to be thin. And I did. I did it all. I did liquid protein for a fucking year. Skinnier than I've ever been, and so unhappy, so miserable. Oh my God. Life wasn't worth it. So when I got the diagnosis of cancer, knowing I was doing everything right, on every goddamn herb known to God, doing intravenous, IVs of super minerals and vitamin C, and I was even doing injections of my urine. Oh my God. Okay, I've done it all. So what did I do? First thing I thought, I've always liked coffee. I'm going to go start drinking coffee. And then it led to everything else. Now I don't care what I eat. I eat when I'm hungry, and I eat with joy for the first time in my life. And that's what it means by seeing the world as real and going against it and saying, no, this isn't true. The only truth, and it's not about the diet. I'm going to say this. This was the context I was given to learn my lessons. Your contexts may be very different. You may have children. You may be gay. You may have a relationship. You're going to get the lessons you would learn in whatever context you have presented for yourself. But I guarantee, keep going after the shadow. Don't push it away. Embrace it. And this is the prayer. Holy Spirit, help me see this differently. Why am I dreaming up this nonsense? What would you have me learn from it? Because we're here to learn something. And it's the shadow. It's, and oh my God, I love people. I love people. And I love that they love God, but they lie. I did. And it's kind of like, oh, no, I love God. I love God. I love God. Then I get hit with cancer and I go, what the fuck, God? What the hell are you doing? This is not right. This is not okay. Like God had something to do with it. And it could be the same thing if you're going through a foreclosure, if you have no money and you're living in your car, it doesn't matter. God didn't do it. These are lessons I would learn, you would learn. And they come in all different forms and shapes and colors. I'm looking at you, Christine, and I just remember, what we talked about last week. And it's like, you dreamed up this lesson that you would learn. And it's kind of like, his name happens to be Andrew. That's all. We all have them. My lesson happened to be cancer. Oh, I said at Namaste. Yeah, yeah, anyway. And I had a whole thing on holy relationships and special relationships. And we're all confused by this. I thought a relationship is between two people, but it's not. It's between me and God. There's only one relationship, me and God. My lessons come with my lovers. My lessons come with my friends. My lessons come in many different forms and directions. And it's basically when I'm making the dream of death real. There's something I must learn from it. And so I give myself all these lessons. And I'm a generous trigger. I said that to you last week, Christine. There are certain people that are generous triggers. I'm a generous trigger. I've been triggered by myself my whole life. and And it's gotten me here, happier than I've ever been. But I triggered the lesson of terminal cancer, triggered the lesson of losing my beloved home that I built from scratch, losing, well, giving away a lot of money, but losing most of it. And, you know, those were like lessons I gave to myself because I wanted to wake up. And, you know, I had a guy this week say, well, I want to wake up gently. I don't know what you're doing, but I want to wake up gently. And I said, great, go for it. Mine included what it included. I don't know why, but I don't see it as anything but gentle now. At the time, it was kind of annoying as hell, pissed me off, and it didn't seem right. That's a huge belief of mine. I'm right, everybody else is wrong. That's a core belief. Yeah. And that keeps coming up in many beautiful ways. And I keep, you know, yeah, right, Calico, settle down, sit down and shut up. You know, I can actually be my own Holy Spirit in those times and do. And that's what we're getting to. It's like, know yourself. I think there's something in the Bible about that, know yourself. And it's not yourself as the believer in the world, but yourself as the loving thought in the mind of God. That's what we're trying to get back to. I live my life pretty much seeing myself as a loving thought in the mind of God. A little odd maybe, but nevertheless, a loving thought in the mind of God. And then I have to still keep course correcting my mind when I don't, it's like, I don't know why I'm a loving thought in the mind of God. Well, why not? God does. So you want to take issue with that? You go right ahead, Calico. See how far that takes you. And I'm saying this to all of us because we all have circumstances, different, but doesn't matter. The treatment, the Course in Miracles treatment is the same, no matter what you're believing in the world or the dream of death. And that is as quickly as possible, accept, yes, indeed, I'm doing this to myself. This is my projection. Pull back all those projections. Holy Spirit, help me see this differently. And what would I learn from this? And the correction will always take you back. By the way, the correction will never tell you to do something, ever. It's not going to say, well, move here, or buy this, or leave them. Corrections never look like that. The correction will take you back to a happy place. Peace of mind. That's the correction, is always to get us back into peace of mind. It's never about doing anything. That's a Course. I don't know how many times it says it in the Course, but it's a lot. You need do nothing. You need do nothing. In fact, stop doing anything. I mean, and it's not saying don't go to get groceries or don't pee. It's not saying that. But we're so focused on doing. I know I was. In fact, this morning came up in conversation. There was a very energetic human here at Namaste. And I just smile and love him a lot. And someone was saying, it must be all that yoga he's doing, that he's so, you know, he's got 1,000 different projects going on. I said, it isn't yoga. I was the queen. I was a gold medalist in multitasking. I was a gold medalist. I mean, I saw it as a gift that I gave to the world. I could handle 20 projects all at the same time in my mind, and did. I was the queen doer, and I gave myself a gold medal in it. It has nothing to do with yoga. It has to do with the mind that says, I know, I'll do it. I didn't trust you guys to do it. I'll do it. So I just took on everything. Talk about people pleasing. I mean, it was a little screwy people pleasing, but nevertheless, it was people pleasing. I know what's best for everybody. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'll do it all. So I just need to say, we don't have to do anything, nothing. The truth, and the only truth of anyone here, anyone, anywhere, is you're a loving thought in the mind of God. And if you get hooked in your illusion, you're doing it. Because you're bent on self-destruction. And I guarantee most people die from pure exhaustion. They're tired. I'm done. I had deep resignation. I didn't realize I had resignation until I finally started looking at, why would I dream up cancer? I was so resigned and I hated people. Man's inhumanity to man. Oh God, it pissed me off something fierce. And so I just killed everybody off. I went to the mountains to live by myself. You know, it was my cave. That didn't save me. No, it was actually coming back into the world and starting to love everything about it, especially the hooks. You know, someone's doing something. Oh God, why do they have to do that? Well, then why are you projecting them? There's a lesson for you. I'm saying this to myself. No. Oh, no. No. That was my usual reaction. No, that can't be. No. Because it felt real. And it really means really getting honest. Getting so honest and humble. Those are my two gifts to myself, humility and honesty. In a whole, I was always cash register honest, but this is a whole different kind of honest. This is honest with what I'm really thinking. What's really going on? Who am I really making wrong? Who do I not want to accept has anything to offer me, and I just want to kill them off and get away from them as soon as possible? So with that being said, what I'm going to do is turn off the recording. So we're going to say goodbye to all our YouTube friends. Bye, YouTube friends. And we're going to have our own little private conversation about this topic in the Zoom room. So if you'd like to get into the Zoom room, you can somehow figure out how to message me. I'm on Facebook. You can always use Messenger. And give me your email and I'll put you on the list and you can get the link and then you can join in these little private sessions. But basically, it's going to be about what we talked about. It's just the truth of who you are. If nothing else, just take this with you. You're a loving thought in the mind of God. You can't say that enough every day. You're a loving thought in the mind of God. Now start living like it. So anyway, let me see how to turn this off. Stop recording.